This is a moment with a celebrity. Tonight's celebrity, Sir Chadwick Clunie of Floyd Central High School. Introduce your name.
My name's Chad Clunie.
All right, first question. Why did you choose to become a psychology teacher?
Well, first of all, it's a fascinating subject. You got all these human interactions and dynamics that you get to discuss, so it's really relevant to people's lives, and I think that's very interesting. The other thing is, as a teacher, you get to interact with students, and I really enjoy that aspect in the classroom, getting to interact and learn from students and what they think about the curriculum that we discuss.
Okay, next question. Why did you choose to come to Floyd Central?
I was lucky enough to get here. I feel very privileged that I'm at Floyd Central. This was one of the few schools that had a social studies opening when I applied. And I originally was a government teacher, so I've been a government teacher, U.S. history teacher, psychology, AP psychology. But it's one of those schools that has a lot of history. It's a very award-winning school, so a lot of great students, and that's a great place to teach in.
All right. What is your favorite subject in psychology and why?
Oh, I think social psychology is probably my favorite, just because of the interaction between humans and groups and all the dynamics that we see there, that we can know so much about a human being one-on-one, but all of a sudden we put them in a group or we add other people and that all goes out the window and things change. And so I just think it's so dynamic to see people in groups. It's probably my favorite to discuss.
What is your favorite psychological study?
And favorite psychological study? Probably gonna say Milgram's. Just because of the dynamics of obedience and authority, and how we're willing to obey in extreme situations. We know we need obedience in our society. We have chaos, but there's also a really dark side of that, and whether or not it was ethical or not, that's probably debatable. But just the dynamics that we saw come out of that, some of the research, not just the study on obedience, but some of his other research that went along with that. I think it's really interesting stuff.
All right. This is the second half. You're halfway done.
Okay.
What is your favorite part about being a teacher?
Favorite part about being a teacher? Two things. The interaction in the classroom, just getting to see students interact with each other and opportunity to interact with them. The second part is to see when a student finally gets it. When you can see sort of that aha moment, that insightful moment where the light bulb goes off and they can make that connection. Oh, that's what's going on here, or now I understand it. That's a really fun, interesting aspect of teaching, and you get to see students finally grasp a concept they don't understand.
What school of psychology do you most often agree with? And why?
I'm going to give sort of the easy answer out here, I think. I tend to agree most with the biopsychosocial approach, which is sort of the newest approach to psychology, where you can't just look at one perspective, one approach, that you have to look at the evidence that we have from biology, the evidence that we have from cognition, the evidence that we have from social interactions, and sort of combine those to better understand people. I think if you look at one perspective and ignore the others, you're not going to get the full answer. So I think that's probably the way that we need to proceed as we go through psychology.
All right. Second to last question. Why do you think students at FC choose to take AP Psychology?
I'd like to think that they think it's an interesting class. That they learn a lot about human beings and also maybe learn more about themselves, and that it's an engaging class that you can take and apply to how you interact with your family, your friends, and you as an individual. So I hope that they take it because they've heard that it's an interesting class from other people and that it's something that they'll benefit from taking. I don't know if that's the truth, but that's what I like to think.
All right, final question. If given an opportunity to do a psychological experiment with an unlimited budget, you don't have to worry about money, what would it be?
Ooh. question. I think it would have something to do, just formulating in my mind what it would deal with. It would probably have something to do with the social aspect of learning and how group dynamics can influence learning, whether it's in a classroom or in a business corporation or just between individuals sitting talking at a table, just the dynamics that go on during an interaction between people in a learning environment. I think that's probably, as a teacher, I'm most intrigued about how do people grasp information, and we know that socially that's a huge part of it. So I think that would probably be the area that I would go into if I really wanted to go into the research.